I'm a legend, born with fire in my bones. Raging higher, I'm ascending to the throne. I'm in your head now, making you sweat. Seeing red now, yeah, I'm a threat. Counting rings now, cause I'm a king. Ain't nobody gonna mess with me. Among the greats now, embrace my fate now. This is my time, this is my place. We're making history and this is how it's made. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! I'm a champion, I got thunder in my bones. I got the crown and I ain't ever letting go. I'm coming for ya, there's no escape. Gonna flow ya, make no mistake. All eyes on me now, compare the king. Dynamite, let's ignite this thing. Let's go! Among the greats now, embrace my fate now. This is my time, this is my place. We're making history and this is how it's made. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! This is my time, this is my place in the limelight, cause this is my fate. Every hand that's held me up, every fan that's kept their faith. I'm here to show the world that this was no mistake. We're making history and this is how it's made. Let's go! Let's go! I'm a legend, born with fire in my bones. Raging higher, I'm ascending to the throne. I'm in your head now, making you sweat. Seeing red now, yeah, I'm a threat. Counting rings now, cause I'm a king. Ain't nobody gonna mess with me. Among the greats now, embrace my fate now. This is my time, this is my place. We're making history and this is how it's made. Let's go!
Butterflies and rainbows.
Hello. What's going on, guys? If you're in here, say what's up.
How do you get both chats out? Because which one is this one?
That is the YouTube. I have to pull up the app chat. All right, I'll pull up the app chat. Hi, Tom Joyce. How's it going? Chris Haynes, hello. Welcome, welcome. What's going on, guys?
Chris's Red Sox are making moves, dude.
How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing today? Everything good? Anyone have any questions at all to start us off? It's since the last time that we did this, there have been some pretty significant things to happen, which have been really, really awesome. Also, we had Christmas in there, which was really cool. Let's see here. Chris, I'm doing okay. I am doing okay. Let's see here. So I had made a feedback post, which Chris, you had commented on, and I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you commenting on that because, you know, if we're going to continue to do this, it's really good to get feedback from all of you guys. That's just going to help us continue to have this be more of like a talk show / Q&A. But like if we have some bullet points to work off of, like those bullet points. Tom, you're new. Well, welcome to the TDS family. But like those kind of things will help us just, you know, it might make someone else think of a question that they had, which is a good thing. So wanted to say appreciate you for that. Now getting into I think like your first bullet point was, what is my favorite break style? And I think that there's different break styles kind of for everyone. But my favorite break style, I prefer the random teams. I like a random team break, and I like the big ones, like the 32 spot football, one box or whole case, or, you know, a couple boxes and a repack or whatever that is. I like the bigger style break, and the reason being is I think getting in at that like 30-second fraction of the total price and potentially getting a top team or getting a top hit from all of those products, like that to me is really cool. And yes, it is definitely more on the gambling side of like, you know, this industry. But that's just what I prefer. Now, I also like pick your team breaks. The reason why I like pick your team breaks is because I think it's really cool if you want to hone in on your collection and like who you collect. You know, Chris, you're a Red Sox fan, but you're not just a Red Sox fan. You are a prospect fan. So you are a guy that likes to do your own research to determine. Hang on one second. Let me just let him know. You're a collector that likes to determine which prospects have the most upside. And that's really cool because then you'll go after some of these guys that maybe people aren't recognizing as a top tier talent, but they definitely have the tools to become that, right? So I think pick your team breaks are really great because it allows you to do your own research. It allows you to hone in on if you're a team guy or a player guy, or you are buying a team because you like where that team is heading. Like, let's say you're a Twins fan, but you've seen the Orioles consistently have prospects that are big name guys coming up, and you think that the Orioles are going to start making a run in the playoffs year after year, contending for a title in the World Series. Now you're starting to buy the Orioles because you're buying into what you think is going to be a good investment standpoint. Like, you think that they're going to go up because they have chances to compete at a high level. So that's why I pick your teams are really cool. Hey, if you're a Tigers fan, you can buy the Tigers. You're a Twins fan, you can buy the Twins. You're a Yankees fan, you can buy the Yankees. But it's more than just buying the team that you like. It's also the fact that you can do your own research, have your own knowledge, and go in and make a selection of a team that you think is undervalued, which is really cool. You got lucky last night with Hockey PYT 5-box, grabbed Ottawa as a cheap second team, and got a bunch of mid-hits. That's awesome. And that's, there is collecting for everyone. I collect all different kinds of stuff. I collect Pokemon, I collect sports cards, I collect, autographs, I like memorabilia, and then there's a lot of things that I like that, being a shop owner, like, we get to see some of the coolest stuff in the world come through the doors, and it's just really fun to be able to hone in on what you like, and maybe you're just someone that just likes to, hit cards, or whatever. I like game used patches, so I definitely have a ton of game used patch cards in my collection. I just think that they're really cool. I think that they're undervalued, especially in terms of, we've seen a shift the last couple of years to more and more patches being player worn. And I like the game used stuff, so I've been buying game used patches of Brady, Randy Moss, different players that I like, right? Tom, and that, like, breaking is kind of like gambling, right? A little bit. It's a lot of fun. And I think if you can hone in on, like, doing a little bit of collecting outside of just breaking, like buying some cards too, like that's a good way to do well. Like, I've done really well by investing some of my money into sealed Pokemon. Sealed Pokemon has continually increased in value, and that's done well for me. So the increase in the sealed Pokemon has offset a lot of my, boxes that I've ripped, or even like maybe spots I've bought in breaks where I haven't gotten a hit. Yeah, Tom, I like case breaks too. And that's what we try to do here. We try to do a big mix of, like, case breaks, half case breaks, quarter case breaks, multi-box mixers, single boxes. Like, realistically, like, having a mix of everything for everyone is nice. I think it just lets anyone kind of buy in at their own price point, which is why we do that. Yeah, Tom, like, pretty much all sealed Pokemon over time increases in value. I actually can't think off the top of my head of a set that's decreased in value over time. What happens is like more and more of the product gets opened, and people still want that product, and so the demand goes up and the supply is down, so the price increases. Now, not the same thing can be said for all years of sports cards, right? We've seen it with some years of sports cards; they increase, drastically, but some years don't. And I think it has a lot to do with, like, Pokemon are not going anywhere. They're not competing. They're not having injuries. They're not doing that stuff. So it's like, what's in those sets, and that's why. Yeah, like Surging Sparks was a recent release of Pokemon that came out. It's the first set in it's actually probably the first set ever that I've had priced at $130+ before release. Every other set that I've had come out, we price them at $109.95. And they slowly move at that price. That set, people were selling them for $150+ on release day. We kept ours at, I think, $137, and we sold through our entire allocation, which we've never done. That release day weekend has never happened before, and like, realistically, Pokemon is seeing a very large boom right now. There's a few really big sets that are coming out. So Pokemon's going to go crazy for a little bit. This is a cycle. We've seen this happen. We've seen this repeat. So it happened in 2019, 2020, 21. It was still kind of going. And then it softened for 22, 23. The Pokemon market softened. And now we're seeing that increase right here at the end of 24. Yeah, Surging Sparks is gone. That's gone. It's literally gone. And this next set that's coming out, Prismatic Evolutions, that set is gone. It has not even released, and it is gone. If you plan to buy any of that set, you are going to have to do it on release day, because you will not find it unless you catch a restock at a Target or a Walmart. You will not find that set anywhere. Pokemon cards are not numbered. So here's the difference between Pokemon and sports. Pokemon is the largest TCG, so trading card game, in the entire world. It is number one. Pokemon has one of the longest active running animes in the world. Pokemon has been around, obviously, since I was a child. They have rare cards within each set, which are cards that are difficult to pull, and the pull rates sometimes are as extreme as like 1 in 1,600 packs, which is pretty difficult to pull. So with Pokemon, you have two schools. You have the people that are playing the game. Okay, those are the people that are ripping they rip a lot of the product, because when a new set comes out, what happens is Pokemon cycles out old cards. So other sets that maybe are 3 or 4 years ago, you are no longer allowed to play in an actual tournament game, right? So these cards get rotated out, new cards are coming in. Also, with any trading card game too, they put stuff out and they don't necessarily know how people are going to build decks. And so they might put out a set and someone figures out a way to build a deck that's like very strong and overpowered. So then what they'll do is the next set they'll put something out to kind of diminish that overpowered deck. And so this continues to happen. So they have to continue to open up the packs of cards. They have to continue to do this. Now, from the collecting standpoint, the artwork on the cards is terrific. Like it's very good. And what you're seeing is, hey, when I was 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, okay, Pokemon was huge. Pokemon was huge. Like that was like the biggest thing ever when we were kids. Remember, this is a time when video games were kind of very fresh. We didn't really have internet. Like we didn't really have a lot of these things that the kids nowadays have. We didn't have this stuff. So like when Pokemon hit the scene, like it was like nothing you've ever seen before. And now I'm 33 or 34 years old, and I've had a chance to earn money. I have a child that's 7 years old. Now we can kind of collect together. Like he's getting into it. I'm back into it. And now imagine if you could go back in time to when Pokemon was all the rage and you're a 7-year-old kid, but you have adult money. Like that's why you're seeing so many people get so intrigued with it and start to spend money and collect and do all of these things. Yeah, Harley. So that's another thing that happened while in between these Triple Diamond kind of Q&As is the Shota Imanaga debut patch was pulled in Philly at our Philly store. So we have a store here in Minnesota in Eagan, and we have another store in Philly. So really cool. That's a huge card. From a business standpoint, like there's almost nothing better that could have happened for that store than when that card got pulled there. Like that was a really great thing to happen for us as a business, because it kind of put that store on the map. You walked into the Ben Salem store a few days ago. That's amazing, dude. That's amazing. Yeah, I mean that card getting pulled there, it really kind of put that store on the map out there. And we're all from Minnesota. Tarek, the guy that's running the Triple Diamond Ben Salem store, he's from Minnesota. Our core network of people are from Minnesota, and so by going out to the East Coast, there's a lot of uncertainties, and to have a card like that get pulled there is like definitely more meaningful than having it pulled here. Not necessarily like we want all of our customers to succeed and get hits from breaks. Like we would have loved to pull that card here. But as a business, like how cool is it that it's in your new store? It gives that new store a lot of free publicity. Like the marketing off of that card getting pulled there is, I don't even know how to describe like how valuable that marketing piece is. That's awesome, Tom. Are they open over there? You gotta go knock on the door. That's so funny. Another thing like that we're working on is obviously like the repacks and stuff. So you guys have been seeing the piggy banks, private reserves. There's a lot more in the works for the repack stuff. So keep your eyes on that. Top 5 TDS pulls this last year, in my opinion. Well, the Imanaga is for sure in there. The Tom Brady Superfractor was about a year ago. So that's probably number 1. I would say Imanaga's 2. Oh, man, there's been so many good ones. The Messi 101 patch auto from Dynasty was a monster. Yeah, that was pretty big. I'm trying to think. We had a couple big soccer pulls this year that I would say rival those top, 5 4 or 5 spots. Yeah, there was a Superfractor in Cosmic. That's right. I mean, we pulled a red Wemby auto from Topps Chrome. Like, that's a huge card. It's really hard. Like, those top 3 are pretty locked in place. Like, Tom Brady Superfractor, the Messi 1/1 patch auto, and the Imanaga debut patch. Like, those ones are pretty locked in stone. Now, spots 4 and 5, trickier to figure out because there's been so many cards that we have pulled that are absolute just nukes. We pulled CJ Stroud Superfractor from a product that I think that card sold for $15,000. We've had several cards that we've sold through our eBay that we've pulled or customers pulled out of a box here at TDS that have sold for $20,000+. So yeah, there's been some pretty darn good pulls. We've pulled good cards across all sports. You know, I think we pulled the very first ever JJ McCarthy Shield auto from Gold Standard. That was a monster, you know. It was a fun card to pull here in Minnesota. I think that was the very first box of Gold Standard that we opened on stream. It would be kind of tricky to do that, Tom. So what we typically do after each break, the setup of a break, right? We go live, but we record that live video. So when a breaker goes through all the boxes and stuff, and then he separates out all the hits and stuff while he's breaking, and then at the end we typically will do a recap. So we'll go through all of the hit cards from that break at the end as a recap. We clip each individual break and then we upload those breaks to YouTube. I think they also get uploaded onto the app. So that way there's like, you can reference back knowing your break number. You're able to reference back and watch the recap of a break if you miss it and you don't feel like watching all the boxes get opened. We've actually done that for several years just because we wanted to make sure that you guys are able to see your break, watch your recap, know what cards you hit, even if you're not available to watch in the moment when we're actually live with it. There is going to be some new features on the app itself that's coming out that are related to peer-to-peer messaging. So you guys being able to actually message with each other via the app, so that you don't have to be Facebook friends, you don't have to be whatever. You're going to be able to just like, hey, you know, Harley Brown hit a Rushy Rice, you know, gold prism card, and you're a huge Chiefs fan, and you're like, hey, I want to buy that. You'll be able to actually send him a DM via the app and say, hey, like, you know, what do you want for this? Are you interested in selling? And you guys can work out a deal. And we would be able to potentially keep that card out of Harley's shipment and then put it into your shipment if you guys create, you know, work out a deal. We could be the middleman there. There's also going to be like, you know, the ability to have like a topical chat room, kind of like a Discord built within the app, which is pretty cool. That's a really good idea, Tom. Early thoughts on the app as it correlates to breaking. I think that it's definitely a transition, right? I don't know if I think right away it was the timing of the year, like from right around Black Friday all the way up to like a week before Christmas. Like people are way more focused on shopping for their families, that kind of stuff versus like spending money on their own hobbies. So I think that we saw a little bit of a dip in the brakes side, but now I would argue that in the last week and a half, you're starting to see the transition where it's turning over and more people are getting used to the way the app works. We're seeing new customers from Philadelphia market and stuff kind of come in and they don't know anything other than the app. They don't know how it was before we had the app. So every single person that's new that comes in and starts breaking us with the app, they will have no other experience besides the app. So they'll have nothing to base it on, a prior experience with us. So I think that the app is moving in the right direction. There are some updates that are coming out that I think are going to help us. Before, we always had a constant trough of breaks, and we still kind of do, but I think people are getting confused with the scheduling aspect. What you guys don't realize is right now there is no way for us to have a break posted on the app without having a scheduled date and time that it would rip. But in the next week or so, we're actually going to have a whole new category, I think, made where it doesn't have to have a break time or date, and it will just be like, hey, this will break when it fills. Or the goal is to get them separated, so the schedule is the schedule and the other breaks are posted. You can grab spots and we can move those breaks into the schedule, or we can break them when they're full. You're trying to start selling a bunch of cards here. Can you talk about the process of selling through your shop, different options, and then yeah, Aaron. So we buy cards all the time, obviously, because we make repacks. We sell cards in store. We go to card shows and sell cards. And then we also offer eBay consignment. That's something that kind of separates us from a lot of other stores, is that, hey, maybe you don't want to sell your card at 70% of comps to me. Comps would be, where you look up a card, what it sells for on eBay, on bids. That's the true price. Maybe there's some sales history of, hey, this card sold, 6 times in the last 2 months, and the average price is $250. As a store, we typically offer around the 70% range of whatever that number is. That's leaving us the room that if that card goes down 10 or 20%, we're not taking a bath on it. Also, like when we make these repacks, piggy banks, private reserves, etc., we try to put like as close to the full value of eBay comps as what the boxes would sell for, so that you're getting value back out of those products. You'll see continuously people that make repacks and do breaks with them. They're not doing that. Like you could buy their whole run of their product, and let's say they're charging $10,000 for 100 boxes, right? $10,000 for 100 boxes, $100 a pack, and at the end of it, you got 4K worth of cards. Well, if you did that with us, you're gonna have like, sometimes 9,300, sometimes 10,500. Some, it goes up and down. That's because we buy at the percentage that we buy at. And in terms of selling to us, you would bring your collection into us. We would value it. We usually use sticky notes. We put a sticky note on each card with what we comp it at. Then we give you your cards back and say, hey, look through these. If you see something that you don't like, it's perfectly okay to pull that card out. That's just what we value it at. Maybe you value it higher, and you can pull those cards out. I think it's a really transparent process. We're not trying to hide anything from you. Some of these other shops will be very disingenuous. We try to be pretty upfront. This is what we pay. This is what we comp them at. If you want to pull stuff out, I'm not going to get angry or upset at you. I'll still take the other cards at the value that I have them valued at. Also, also like selling through eBay. The rates are better. So if you don't like the percentage that we're offering you, we can turn that card on eBay for you, and you can get a little bit better percentage back in your pocket. Sometimes it just takes more time, and you never know with an auction what a card will truly sell for. So there's not the ability to do personals on the app yet. That's something that like could be in the future. I really loved our website. I think our website was great. And I think running the breaks through the website was great. We made a commitment to doing the app. And so we are trying to give it our best effort on there. I think that the app has the ability to change and change for the better and continually get better. That is the whole goal with the app, where maybe we were a little bit limited on what we could continue to do on the website. So as of right now, there isn't the ability to put personals on the site or on the app. So that's why we have them on the website. To me, like, I guess I don't see it as a super big deal, because I feel like when you click on the breaks, it just cuts you right over to the app and there's the breaks. But I could get that there's a little bit of it's kind of like an extra step there. Yep. So on the app, Tom, those messages as of right now don't pull through our Restream, which, when you're watching on YouTube, you can see all the YouTube comments, you can see Facebook comments, you can see Twitch. The app doesn't pull through. So the breakers are supposed to have the app chat pulled up and side by side with the Restream chat. The app, other than just focusing on Fanatics Live, I think Fanatics Live is really great, and that's an area where we can continue to grow. I think there's something to be said about owning your own sales channel versus moving all of your sales through someone else's sales channel. So for me, it's a little bit of a conundrum, right? I could push everything over to Fanatics Live. I could push everything over to TikTok. I could push everything over to Whatnot. I could push everything over to those different selling platforms. But what happens if they fail? What if I put all my eggs in the Fanatics Live basket, and after 3 years of doing Fanatics Live, they determine that, hey, we're spending way more money on software for this crap than what we're making on fees. Like, it's time to scrap it. Now I have to try and capture all those people back and get them onto my own sales channel. So I think what we're doing by spreading it out a little bit, we had this discussion last week on the Q&A, spreading it out a little bit kind of helps us bring more people into the Triple Diamond fold. So we're bringing more people into our fam, which is a good thing. Tom, there's lots of different places that you can break and buy boxes and stuff, for sure. We stream on several different platforms. Also, like, yes, not everything gets posted on the website, and also, like, if you're looking for a specific product, I can typically find that product. So if you're looking for something specific, you could say, "Hey, Alex, I really loved, Prism football when we're out. Like, could you get me some Prism football?" And I'll go out and try and buy it at the lowest possible price. Yeah, we've definitely talked about that. So if TikTok was to kind of go out, like I do think that we have the ability and the following to put our TikTok streamers onto Fanatics Live and to our own sales channel. So, you know, you gotta think there is a very large grouping of people that watch us specifically on TikTok. They don't really watch us on our other sales channels. They come on TikTok. So if TikTok was to go away, I do believe that those people would seek us out here, and we've been doing more. If you've been watching our TikTok streams, we've been the TikTok guys have been excellent about showing, you know, hey, let's go check out our YouTube, our own website, our own app. Let's go check that out. Let's see what those guys are opening, and coming over here and actually bringing the TikTok camera and feed into our other studios, checking those things out. Like that is letting basically everyone know that, hey, you can find us here, you can find us there. And if TikTok was to get shut down, I think that we would see an incredible increase on traffic into both Fanatics Live and our YouTube. We to the point where we may have to have a secondary YouTube app stream. So if there's a box I want for a personal break. Yes, Tom, you can always ask us if we have a product in stock. So you're always allowed to ask us if we have a product in stock, and sometimes we will and sometimes we won't. But if there's like a special request, you're like, hey, like, you know, I love SP Authentic Hockey. You guys are out of it. I'll do my best to get that product back in stock for you. You just have to let the breakers that you're watching know to let me know, and I'll put it on my I have like kind of a product wish list, so to speak, of stuff that I want to get back into the store and get back in the inventory. You know, for us, we're a pretty big card shop. We have three streams, 3 studios here in Eagan. Tarek has a studio in Bensalem. Our Fargo store that'll be opening up soon will have a streaming room in it. So you got a lot of you know, mouths to feed. Like people are grabbing products constantly. So that's why, like, I know people have had some issues where, hey, the website, they buy a box and we don't have it in stock. It's really challenging when we have people continually like pulling from all these different streaming rooms. I think it's something that we're getting better at. We're trying to kind of outline some like daily tasks for people so we can mitigate those things from happening. Tom, depending on what it is, like we'll price match. Basically, like we try to look at what the 3 biggest online retailers have their products priced at, and then we usually try to kind of beat that price. That's what we do for pricing, and you know, typically we try to keep products priced the same between stores. It definitely can happen if, hey, Tarek looks on Wednesday, the product released last week, Tarek gets his product in on Wednesday, and he prices it versus me pricing it a week earlier, right before it came out. That price could have fluctuated up 10% or down 10% or up 20% in between. He's pricing it based off of what he's seeing. Now what's cool is it'll pull through our system here, so then our price we would eventually adjust our price here. But updating the website of the personal boxes and stuff is something that we need to get better at. It's definitely a thing that we need to do. Does anyone else have any questions at all? $40 is the correct price. So that's probably something that didn't get updated on the website, but I can tell you that in store on the shelf it's at $40. So I'll make a note of that. And we'll get that adjusted. So I made a note for the breakers, so they'll adjust that price, and I'll probably have them kind of run through the store today. End of the year, so it's almost the first of the year, so we'll actually be doing like a pretty hard inventory run through here in the next couple of days. So when we do that, obviously all the prices will get adjusted to current market value. Lucas Jack, there will 100% be a Super Bowl football break. I do it every year. Every year we've done it. It's gotten crazier. Last year, I think, it was so cool. We did, I think it was a 56th or 57th Super Bowl. So we did that number of boxes. So I think we did like 57 boxes. And we had at least one box from every year all the way back to 1998, which was really neat. So literally every team had hit potential. Every team had good rookies at some point in time in the last 25 years. That was a lot of fun. Now, I don't think that we'll do it quite like that, but there are some products that I thought were just so fantastically done in the last couple decades that I'm probably going to target some products that I think will have a chance to hit something bigger, something better. But there will be a Super Bowl break. I've had boxes that I've been saving for over a year for this year's Super Bowl break. So I went on. I got a case of Triple Threads football from 2013. That's it was a 3-box case. So I have the 3-box, or not 3-box case. I have 3 boxes of that case for the break, the Super Bowl break. So that's gonna be a really fun thing to throw in there. I've got some Topps Finest football that we're going to put in from quite a while ago. I still have some 2020 product. I have some stuff. And then, like, we're getting, usually once we get to the playoffs, I start buying, like, I take a look at the snapshot of everything that I have, and then I start going out and targeting select products to bring in for that break, so... That's amazing, Aaron. I appreciate that. That's really cool, dude. And thank you for the kind words. We're going to continue to do these State of the Diamond addresses. And, I hope that we can build on it. Like, I would love to have 30, 40 people in here just busting my balls. I love it. Everything that we do, like we do it with the thought of caring for our customer base. Many of you have gotten to know me over the last 5-6 years, and you know that I'm more in this business to build relationships and friendships, and I just love what it can do for the youth. Like, I give so much credence to the fact that these kids build confidence through collecting. They learn to bargain, to barter. They learn to be upfront and address people in a respectful manner. Like, They learn how to value things. They learn that if they take care of something, that it can grow in value. Like, there's so many really fun aspects to this, and I think it's so good for these kids. So, can more people use the Discord when y'all aren't live? When I first found you guys, I was hoping there was a Discord. Yeah, so the Discord's not super active. I attribute that, Tom, to more just the fact that I'm like not very tech savvy, so like even me getting this stream running this morning to do this is a struggle for me. There's definitely some of the other guys that are within the company that kind of handle a lot more of the tech side. On the Discord thing, though, I think that you're going to see when we bring in the topical chat rooms on the app, that the app is going to turn into a TDS server, like a TDS Discord, where people can talk all day long in there. Like, hey, who bought the Brewers? Like, I wanted the Brewers. And that's another thing we're trying to change, is where we can manually assign spots. We have no ability to do that right now. That's an update that's going to be coming in the future. So that way we can, like, let's say you decide that you put in the topical chat room, hey, I had Brewers in the last case and I didn't hit and I wanted to buy them in this case, but someone grabbed them, and that person's like, yeah, I grabbed them. Like, hey, would you take, $20 over the spot price and give me the Brewers? I really wanted them. And they're like, yeah. And we'd be able to change that for you guys. Or if you guys want to post cards and stuff in the chat rooms and stuff, I think you're going to see that be a huge community feature that's going to be coming onto the app. Yeah, Aaron, that's really cool. I mean, in a sense, like having a card collection, especially, if you're looking to continue to grow it, is kind of like managing your own stock market. Managing your own, investment portfolio. It's a business, That's what's so cool about it, is the fact that you can treat it as such. All right, guys. Does anyone have any last minute questions? Probably try and plan another one of these State of the Diamonds for next week sometime. I'll probably put out another post. So if people have any ideas of topics or things that they'd like to see us do, your guys' feedback's really important to us, because that's how we get better. Who's your favorite customer? Kilcher. That's so funny. Oh, man, that is so funny. Probably my mom. She comes in and shops here. So I feel like I gotta go with mom. I gotta go with Katie Davis on that one. But you were trying to bait me there. I like it. Well, it's kind of like, this isn't necessarily a podcast, but it's kind of what this is a little bit, in terms of like, you guys are able to communicate with me. I'm able to communicate back, give you my thoughts, my opinions. That's what's so cool about it, right? It's, in my opinion, putting a little more personal touch on the business, where, you guys have direct line. For those of you that don't come in, some of you guys do come into the store, and you guys know that we're around, we're available. You can talk with us, which is cool. and we appreciate you guys doing that. But for those of you that maybe aren't able to come into the store and talk with me directly, like this is a good chance for you to ask me questions and stuff like that. So that's why we're going to continue to do it. Oh, that'd be kind of cool, Tom. Maybe we'll have to look into doing that. The plan also is to have another employee in here for these. I didn't do it for this one, but the plan is to have another employee from the store, whether they're in the shipping department or they're in the eBay consignment department, or that's another owner, or it's one of the guys up front. Like, that is a plan for the future. Yeah, new releases, that could be something that we could do. That'd be something that we could do every week. Like maybe we could work that into like the ending. Let's see. All right. Sorry. I had caught the Christmas cold. Let's see here. We'll go to Beckett calendar and we'll just see kind of what, if they have anything out. So we had Absolute Football just release, Prism Draft Picks Football, Cosmic Chrome. So on the horizon we have NBA Hoops. That's like Panini's flagship basketball product. That's going to have all the new rookies and stuff like that. Let's see what else we have. We have Luminaries Baseball. Absolutely, Chris. So Luminaries Baseball is coming out. That's one card in a box, autograph card, hard signed usually. Can be patch autos. Great product. Always fun. We also have Contenders Optic Basketball. Contenders Optic Basketball is usually like 6 cards, 5 to 6 cards per box. Usually get to see at least one autograph card, sometimes 2, typically 1. They have a whole host of really cool inserts in the Contenders Optic. It's the rookie ticket design, but in the Opti-Chrome format, which is really nice. We have Bowman's Best University Football coming out in January. Topps Archives Baseball, always a fun one that people really like. Topps Midnight Basketball. That might be interesting. So, they did it with UFC. I love the card design. Something about like the darker bordered, darker colors that I think that just looks great. And then Illusions Football. Illusions Football is always one of my favorites too. They always have some really cool patch stuff in there. They pull from good Hall of Famers to the new up and coming rookies and stuff like that. So that's kind of like the immediate forecast of what's coming out. Another product that they're doing this year that I think is going to absolutely freaking rock is Photogenic Football. That's the middle of January. I'm really, really looking forward to that. So, all right, guys. I'm probably going to end this live stream. I appreciate you guys coming in, checking it out, giving us your feedback, commenting, creating a good dialogue. This is an hour long today, and it was a continuous dialogue the entire time. It never stalled. It was fun for me to answer questions, to hear what you guys had to think. Like, that's awesome. To be able to go live and have a continuous dialogue for an hour is really, really great. Sounds good, Tom. Yeah, we could definitely do that. Ra, appreciate you, man. It's been fun. So I'll probably post the next one of these on the dropping soon calendar for next week sometime, once I kind of figure out what my schedule is going to look like. And we'll get back live and we'll do this again. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for your time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
I'm a legend, born with fire in my bones. Raging higher, I'm ascending to the throne. I'm in your head now, making you sweat. Seeing red now, yeah, I'm a threat. Counting rings now, cause I'm a king. Ain't nobody gonna mess with me. Among the greats now, embrace my fate now. This is my time, this is my place. We're making history, and this is how it's made.